It's Erin with Simple Purposeful Living, and this week my brand new book, Tiny Tweaks Happy Life, launched into the world. But one of my favorite things is learning how tiny tweaks plays out in other people's lives. So I'm inviting some of my favorite friends on the internet to share with me how this plays out in their life. So I'm going to invite my friend Elisabeth from Balancing Beams on. Let's see if we can find her here. Twin newborn boys, and her specialty is helping you declutter but make it realistic and simple home solutions. Hi, Elisabeth. It's so good to see you. You look radiant. You are a mom of five. I'm stealing a few quiet minutes while I think you said your husband is kind of holding down the fort.
Yes, yeah. So if you hear screaming, sorry ahead of time.
Very realistic. I feel like I'm just a few steps ahead of you with older kids, and I love watching your stories. Whenever you share the twins, it is like the internet content that brings me so much joy. The other day when they were trying to sit up and their sisters were just giggling, oh, precious.
It was so much fun. I can't even tell you how much fun they are for us.
Okay, so Elisabeth, for those that are tuning in, that are getting to meet you for the first time, share a little bit about your heart, who you are, anything you want to share.
Well, I'm Elizabeth. I have five kids, 7, 5, and just turned 4, and then I have 6-month-old twins. And really, I just love sharing very similar to you, just small like shifts or tweaks in our lives that, decluttering mainly is what I focus on because it helped me so much. But just rethinking how we do things in life to make our lives a little bit easier as moms because there's so much and it so can be so overwhelming. So really that's what I love sharing and love doing. And honestly, right now with the twins, it's been a huge part of our life right now is just rethinking everything because obviously adding 2 more babies in has been huge in our life. So
And something that you've been doing all January that I think is really cool is you're letting your kids help you pick what you're going to declutter. I love this idea of like bringing our kids into it because not only is it teaching them these skills that they're going to know forever, but it's something fun that you can enjoy together.
oh, for sure. And it's so cute to see them because one of my daughters is very hesitant with letting things go. And then the other one is very much like, oh, here, take this and just get rid of it. And it's kind of fun to see the different personalities and kind of work with them and find ways to make it work for them that are, because everyone's so different.
That's so cool. Okay, so my book is all about these little shifts that I know you love as well. So, has there been with five kids, newborn twins, a tiny tweak that you've made lately that has either made your life easier or more joyful?
I would say probably the most recent tweak is in the last few weeks, I have taken social media apps, not off my phone because obviously I'm on here, but I have deleted them off my home screen. So it makes me, instead of like, your fingers just automatically go and open it up, it makes me rethink. Like I'll go to, I'm like, oh, okay, like I don't really need to be on here. I don't need to scroll mindlessly. And that has given me so much more time, sadly, as with my kids, like I'm a lot less like, why are you interrupting me? When you're just scrolling social media. And I've been able to get so much more done. And also with nursing both the boys right now, there's a lot of time where I would just catch myself while I was nursing, just scrolling. And I've read, I think, 3 books this week just because instead of scrolling, I just opened up the app and I was able to read on my phone. And I think that's making a big difference in my attitude. So that's one of the tweaks that I've made.
Okay, somebody just said, I have to give you this compliment because she says, I need to know how you look so amazing with five that small. I agree. You look, you're
I
radiant.
showered. I showered.
That's another tiny tweak. But I
Because
love
this is
that
not normal.
idea. I love that idea of just moving your app. Like everybody can do that right now after they listen to this live. Just moving, like deleting it off of your home screen, and then you can search it. So it's still there, but you have to
Makes you
really
think. Yeah, because otherwise it's such a habit. It's so bad.
so good. And like you said, it makes more space for what matters, which is for you spending time with your kids and reading. You've read 3 more books just by making that
No.
small tweak. I
It's
mean,
sad because sometimes I'll go for a month without reading a book. And I was like, what in the world? I have all this time, like right now.
that is crazy. That is the power of a tiny tweak if I've ever heard one. Okay, so you share decluttering and simple home systems in a way that always brings such calm. I love your feed because it always makes me feel like not behind or ashamed. It's just like, hey, we're doing this together, which I love about you. But has there been a tweak that you've shared with your audience that has really resonated or gone gangbusters that like has made a lot of difference in their lives?
That you had asked me this question before, and I was like, I don't even know which one to give because there's so many different ones. If we're talking decluttering, I would say a relocate box. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we go to declutter and there's things that go in different in other rooms, and because of that, especially as moms, we get distracted because we go to put it in the other room, and then we just lose our train of thought. And I found that having a box just to throw everything in and then take care of afterwards makes me focus on that one thing so much better. And then I'm going to give a second one because I feel like this, especially for moms, and people have a hard time with this or they love it, but I stopped folding my kids' laundry and I just use like the cube system, and you can use it in the dresser drawers or whatever. But I think that personally for me has made the biggest difference because as someone that hated laundry and was always behind, this is something that my girls can easily sort the laundry and put their own laundry away now. And even it stays so much time and they get themselves dressed and I don't have to worry about them unfolding everything to get dressed. So I think for me personally, that's been one of my biggest. And I know that every time I share that, so many moms can relate to that.
Mm-hmm. It's like this freedom that some other mom is not doing it. So we almost have the permission slip. Like
And
she's
it's
doing
not
it.
for
So can I.
everyone. Oh, for sure. Like, and then people get really, they worry about wrinkles and stuff. And personally, that doesn't bother me. And honestly, they don't get wrinkled, in my opinion. But it's not for everyone. But sometimes I know there has to be at least one other mom out there that was like me, that was just days behind in piles of laundry, and it could solve that for them.
And sometimes it's all about in a season, especially where you are with five littles, done is better than none and
Oh,
overwhelmed.
for sure. And I know, like, eventually my daughters might, I know one of them for sure is going to fold her laundry when she gets older. She's just that rule follower.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's working for us. So.
I love that. Such a good reminder and such a good tiny tweak. Okay, I have to ask you with five small children, there's a lot vying for your attention. So, is there something, because sometimes we can make a tweak and it's not necessary, right? Like, I want, like you'll see something online and you're like, oh, that's a really good idea. But one of the things I talk about in the book is we tweak for optimization when it's actually working just fine for us. So, is there something you ask yourself before you start or
Oh, sorry, you cut out for a second, but
oh,
I think I figured it out. Honestly, it's pretty much what you said. Like the one thing that I always ask myself, because there is so much noise online, even personal. One person says one thing and another person says something else, and I always try to remember before I ask myself is before I do it is, am I doing it because it's going to be useful and helpful, or it's needed, or am I doing it because I'm feeling pressure from someone, or I feel like someone's going to judge me if I don't do it? Because so many times I feel like we'll go do something, and even though it's not working for us, well, so and so is going to think if they're not in our house, that doesn't matter. And I think we have to remind ourselves of that. Like you can do whatever works for your family, and just remember it just, why are you doing it? Are you doing it because of social media or someone else is pressuring you? Are you doing it because you actually feel like it would be helpful for you? And I think to remind ourselves of that is important.
such a good freedom check too of saying like it doesn't have to work for anybody else. It
Hmm.
doesn't even have to work in a different season.
Oh, for
This is
sure.
what's working right now.
Yep, exactly. And remembering that, like, especially with having twins, like, I've had to remind myself of that so many times in the last few months of we're doing something and it's frustrating me. And I'm like, wait a second, let me sit down and let me look around and be like, how is there a way that I can do this better now? And I literally just rearranged our whole entire dining room to work for us in this like stage of life in my girl's bedroom because it wasn't working, even though it totally worked a few months ago. And I think just sitting there and just looking around and being like, all right, why am I so frustrated right now? Because can happen so fast and we just don't pay attention and don't rethink it.
That is the power of a tweak, right? And when we get in,
For
that's
sure.
always my goal too, is when we get in that mindset of constantly being a student of our own life and being curious and saying, okay, this isn't working, rather than live with it and be frustrated, what can I do that maybe would help in this moment? And it's like you said, put it that way for a little while and then you can switch back.
Yeah,
That's
it
like,
totally like trying things. I literally sat in my living room the other day and I was like sitting there with my coffee and I think I had two babies on my lap. But I was like, why is it always a mess? Like I know we live here and like we've decluttered. What can I do to make it just a little bit easier so that it doesn't get like this every single day and we have to pick it up? So that was just something that I had to like think through, and I didn't if I didn't take the time to think through that, nothing was going to change.
So good. Okay. So the whole point of my book is not just to simplify for simplification's sake. My hope is that as readers read this, they're like, okay, I want to tweak my life to make more space for the things that matter and that bring me joy. So as a result of all these tiny tweaks, I know you said reading, you've been reading more, but has there been another tiny joy that you've been enjoying lately in your simplified home?
Honestly, and I know this is kind of cliche, but it's really my kids right now. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but this postpartum has been so different from my others, and I think it's a combination of eating correctly, like tweaks like that, and also having our house in a place that I love. And I just think I told my husband the other day, I kind of wish that I could freeze time right now. Besides actually getting sleep, that would be really nice, okay? If I could do that, that would be great. But besides that, I just want to freeze time because all my kids are at such a fun age, and if we could just, I enjoy all of them so much. And the twins has just been like someone had told me, you're going to feel so spoiled and blessed when you have twins, and I agree with that so much because it's such a cool thing that to be blessed with twins. So.
I love that positivity because my sister had twins, and I think so often people kind of can share like the negativity. But that just reminds me of the power of our words and like how a simple word to you has just stuck with you of that. And I
Oh
love
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, it's exhausting, but it's so cool at the same time. So I just in love right now.
I love this. She said she had to pause the audiobook while decluttering to listen to this live. Okay, that's also my goal. Is like listen to the audiobook. I hope it's motivating. I mean, that's the whole goal. And that's the thing about Elisabeth. Every time I see your stories, you make it so realistic. Like you're like, okay, declutter for 15 minutes with me, or this is what I did today. And so I cannot say enough. Like, go follow Elisabeth. She is so encouraging. You have a very calming presence about you. I always want to come over and eat your protein muffins in your house.
We
you
like food, okay?
you are a delight, and I'm just so grateful for the way that you shared how Tiny Tweaks impacts your life, because at the end of the day, I don't want it to just be a book. I want it to be applied in people's lives. So thank you
Well,
for
thank
being
you
here,
very much. And I'm
Elisabeth.
so excited for you.
All right, love you, friend. Go follow her.
Bye.